Hey guys, this is Dylan Lange, branch manager and home loan officer with Evergreen Home Loans and your number one rated lender in Whatcom County. And today we're going to talk something, it's a little bit related to mortgage, but it's a lot of bit related to just if you own property. It doesn't matter if you have a mortgage or not. A lot of people just got these lovely letters in the mail, and I'm in Whatcom County, so Stephen Oliver is a Whatcom County treasurer. These are not love letters. These are property tax bills. So everyone just got those in the mail. If you have a mortgage and your property taxes and insurance are impounded or escrowed, then this is paid. You do not need to, oh, it looks scary. It's a huge bill. You do not need to pay this. However, if you own the property outright or you did not impound your escrows, AKA your lender is not collecting for taxes and insurance, you need to pay this bill. In Washington State, which is where I am, property taxes are due in April and October. So you need to pay the first half in April and then the second half in October. So reach out to your loan servicer if you're unsure. If you don't have a mortgage, then you know you need to pay it. But let's talk about the increases, because this is a big topic right now, at least in Whatcom County. We saw some significant increases in property tax bills for this year in 2023. And I want to talk a little bit about why. So it doesn't matter what county you live in. If you just look up your county assessor's property search, I'm in Whatcom County, so if I just Google Whatcom County assessor, you can go right here to Whatcom County assessor and treasurer property search. Whatcom County's got a great website, which it's got this little drop down. So instead of account number, you can look it up by owner name. So you can search people by their last name. You can look it up by property address, however you would like to do this. So if I switch it to property address, I just put in the address. If I put it to name, I put in the last name. You can also look up any year you want dating back to 2005. So super, super useful. But let's look at some of my properties. So I own several properties in Whatcom County. And let's look at some of these increases. So these are some of my rental properties that I want to look at. So on this rental property, you'll see in 2023, my tax bill is $52.54 for the year. Okay, my loan servicer pays this. I pay monthly, but also most loan servicing companies will do an escrow analysis in April, at least April or June, and that's for Washington State because, once again, these property tax bills just came out about a week ago, maybe a few weeks ago, and the servicer needs to look at your impound account and see how much money you have in that account, how much it's going to need, and then it will tell you you can either pay it in a lump sum or you have to increase your mortgage payment monthly. So that's why you get this escrow analysis after you get the property tax statement, because the loan servicer doesn't know what your new property taxes are going to be until it gets these bills, which you get a copy and your loan servicer gets a copy. So you do not need to send this to your mortgage loan servicer. But look at this property. So 5254. Last year it was 4653. So right here, that's a $600 difference, almost to the T, a year. Okay. So what is that? $50 a month, roughly? Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. However, if you do if you do $600, which is a difference, divided by 4653, it's a 12% increase in property taxes. Look at the previous year, only a $300 increase. The year before, $100 a year. So we are seeing a massive jump in 2023. Stick with me because I'm going to talk about how this could create some more properties hitting the market. So stick with me on this. But first, let's go over what makes up these property taxes. Why am I paying $52.54 a year to basically own my own property that I already bought? Even if you don't have a mortgage, you still have to pay this. So here's the breakdown. If you click on this little button, so you've got 572 $1504 for the year goes to just Washington State. $510 goes to Whatcom County. You've got flood control zone, Bellingham School District. That's your biggest chunk, is actually the school districts, which is good. We want good public school systems. And Whatcom County EMS, that's your firefighters, your ambulance, right? I mean, we need those as well, and that's a pretty small chunk. 830 is the city of Bellingham. You've got the port of Bellingham. So affordable housing, right? All of these things, I mean, they're small in themselves, but when they add up, it's 5254. And it's a percentage on your assessed value. So there's a percentage, and it depends also what part of town you're in. If you're in Blaine versus Bellingham versus this school district versus that one, right? That all dictates what your taxes are. But this is how you can kind of see the breakdown, and then you can also see your taxable value. So it'll tell me my land is assessed my home is assessed at 382 and my land is assessed at 238. So my market value is about 621. This is not the value of your home though if you were to go on the market. It's usually about 25% lower than what your actual value is. That's not an exact science. Obviously, different homes have different renovations and quality and floor plans. That's a good general rule of thumb. Don't look at this value and say, I'm going to sell my house for $621,000. I guess if you do, reach out to me because I would love to buy it for the assessed value. But that is not what it is worth. So let's pause right here. Drop in the comments what your thoughts are on this breakdown. What do you think is too high? What do you think is too low? What do you think we're getting gouged for? What do you think that maybe we don't have enough in one bucket? And also, what do you think of these assessed values? Do you think they're too high? Do you think they're too low? Do you have questions on those? Drop that in the comments below. All right, so this one had a 12% increase. Let's look at this other rental that I have. So the new yearly tax is $29.40. Last year was $25.20. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? $420 increase. But look at the last year. It only went up $100. This year, that's a 16% increase on this rental property that I have. Now let's go to another rental property. I just purchased this property at the end of last year. And this is an important piece. Look at the property taxes this year, $6,022 for the year. Okay, you might think not that bad. Well, look at last year, $5,167. That's an increase of $855 a year. Look at the increases before that, $100, $150. Well, what happened between 2022? Well, I guess it would be, the beginning of 2022 and the beginning of 2023 right now. I bought the property. The county knows what I paid for this property. This property had not been sold for years. Look at this. This is some quick claim deed that they did. Who knows what was going on here, but it hadn't been sold since, let me move my big face, 2013 for $367. Well, I bought for $750 at the end of 2022. Now the county knows what I've paid. That helps them with that assessed value, which drives up my property taxes. So once again, we are going to see a lot of this where inflated taxes, property taxes, because a lot of people have purchased or sold property recently because rates were relatively low besides this last, 6 to 12 months. So we've seen these taxes pop up because the county gets the data that, hey, this property sold for X amount. People were overpaying for properties, all of that. So here's what I think. There's two pieces here, right? I just talked about some of my rental properties. My property taxes have gone up between 12 and 16% on just those three properties that I told you about. I've got other properties that was in the same realm. What do I need to increase my rent by to make the same amount of money that I was making last year? 12 to 16%, right? That is going to drive up rental prices. Number two, what I think is you've got a lot of people that bought property way back when, let's say 2013 before, right? Like the property we just looked at that I purchased. Maybe they don't have a mortgage on it. Well, that 12 to 16% increase, that's money straight out of their pocket that maybe they're renting these places, but they have it rented out really low. Maybe they're living in it. They don't have a mortgage. Inflation is up. People are getting laid off. A tax increase like this, when the market was doing this, now it's starting to kind of level out. People feel that 12 to 16% a lot more now than they did before. So my two, I guess, crystal ball estimates are rents are going to go up a lot, over 10%, because we're in a college market. I know that I'm looking at all my rentals right now and talking to my rental company. We're looking at rental prices right now for the July-August turnover, which is that college turnover. I'm thinking in my head, I need 12 to 16% more in the rent to just just break even on the property tax increase. So rents are going to go up over 10%. And number two, I think that we are going to see some people list because of the cost of that ownership. So you may see older folks that want to downsize that live in these mega mansions. And let's say you live in a mega mansion, your property taxes are 20,000 a year, right? That 10 to 16% that's a substantial amount of money. And maybe they've retired now, they're on Social Security. So I think we're going to start seeing some turnover on some of these properties with an older demographic. People that maybe own rentals in Western area that bought them years and years ago, people that own these big houses. I think we're going to start seeing some turnover for the spring market. That's my 2 cents. Once again, subscribe to this channel. I do videos weekly. So do subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and comment below what you think of my 2 guesstimates for the Whatcom County market. Talk next time.